I really hope that this is a conversation kind of just to almost like have a career in review almost, because obviously your college basketball time, it's not the only thing you did in New Hartford, but it's definitely one of the major things that you did and had a lot of accomplishments and a lot of people followed along. So I guess we could start out with just talking about how you're feeling kind of right now. You know, you've got Ohio State flag behind you, you're at Ohio State, you're wearing the Ohio State jacket, and literally 2 weeks ago you were at New Hartford High School. So like what's going on right now in your mind with all of this?
I mean, at first it was definitely crazy to think like I was leaving home like so soon and leaving like the place I've been at my whole life basically. But ever since I've been here, it's crazy. I haven't really thought about it just because I've been so busy and I have everything I need here, and it's crazy.
Give me a little perspective on why Ohio State, or the Ohio State University, it was the place for you and how that formed into being the decision.
I'd obviously visited like a ton of other schools and stuff like that, Villanova, Syracuse, Virginia Tech. I wasn't initially able to visit Ohio State at first because of COVID and COVID rules and stuff like that. But as soon as I got on campus, I knew it's where I wanted to be, and I didn't really feel like that at the other schools. Like I didn't want to leave, so I kind of thought that set it in, and just the environment here is insane. It's a family, and I love that feeling. So.
I think I saw you post on Instagram a photo of yourself on the bench, you know, in the seats already with the women's basketball team, which you will be practicing with right now and then playing with in a few months in the games. So what was that like? What was that experience like to be in the, you know, a big arena and everything, going from a high school gym literally 2 weeks ago?
Oh, I know. I was incredibly happy in that photo, and everyone was like swiping up, like, "Oh my God, you look so happy," blah blah blah. And I was like, I am so happy. Like, it was a crazy experience to be on the floor I am playing on for the next 4 years, and just being able to watch my team do their thing. And yeah.
When you look, when you're in that moment in watching these games, so far, again, it's only been 2 weeks, but what do you kind of like have any visions of like you know yourself and being part of that and realizing you're part of this team now and you know, seeing yourself almost on the court because you're literally right there now?
Yeah, definitely. And I'm really glad I get to watch them develop this year and kind of put myself into, you know, the program obviously, and just learning everything and doing everything I can do to be on the floor with them. And yeah.
What's the biggest thing you've learned so far in these past like 14 days, whether it's basketball related or not?
It takes hard work. It takes a lot of work to be here, and I love working, and I just having practice facilities open 24/7, having the necessities I need to get better. It's amazing.
I think one thing people will say they noticed in the community here, and many people who have seen all 5 years that you're on, 6 years, sorry, that you were on varsity basketball. I got to see 3 of them, except for, you know, the changes that happened because of COVID and all of that. So sort of 3. They noticed your hard work and the effort that you put into the sport and everything you do. You're noticing it takes a lot of hard work to be part of the Ohio State women's basketball team. What is it that drives you to work so hard and makes you want to put that kind of effort into something?
Definitely just after seeing like them play, being on the court, that experience, and just me wanting to kind of lead my team to victory and like tournament wins and just winning in general. It's great.
The feeling of succeeding.
Yes.
You know, when you think of yourself now that your high school career has concluded, from 7th grade to 12th grade, being on the New Hartford varsity basketball team, when you think of yourself as a high schooler on that team, what do you see now that it's kind of all in retrospect?
What do you mean by that?
Like what, like is when you know the high school career is now fully behind you, and a 6-year experience as far as being on the varsity team from junior to high school is you know, a long time when you're in it, and there's a lot that happens. So I wonder if you think back on it now that you're kind of right here at the start. I'm sure you'll reflect on it for a long time going forward, but right now at the start of your college career, who was the Kaia Henderson in high school? What was that journey, and like, what do you see from those past 6 years?
Right. It's definitely looking back now, it's so crazy to think like I was just in high school, like I've been playing varsity since 7th grade. Like this is a program I thought I'd never leave. And I've been watching some like my old highlights and film and stuff like that, just trying to learn like what I used to do, what I can do now, and just stuff like that to get better. And I definitely think I've grown a lot as a leader, more so on the court, and just being with my team and winning more games.
We had talked actually, I think it was 2 years ago now, where you had said you were kind of quiet. You give a little pregame speech, but I think what you told me, but that you were overall quiet. Has that changed in the past few years? Is that still the personality, or what is your personality now?
Oh, I'm definitely not quiet. If you ask anyone on my team or my high school team this year, they'll tell you they'll probably get annoyed with me because of how much I talk and how much, I'm just teaching and learning from them as well. But being here, I don't know. I'm a little shy at first. Once I get comfortable with things, I start to open up and get a little more comfortable.
You had, obviously, like we said, the long 6-year career. Not everyone plays varsity basketball at New Hartford from 7th grade on. Some are even, even fewer make it from 9th grade to 12th grade on varsity. There's usually stop in between. What do you think that those 6 years on the varsity basketball team did to help prepare you for this moment now, starting out at Ohio State as a basketball player and also as a person in general?
I think just being with older girls from the start kind of prepared me for the life aspect and the growing aspect of life. They taught me a lot in 7th grade that most 7th graders probably shouldn't know, things that seniors on varsity are telling you, but it taught me a lot. It definitely made me a better person throughout the years, and just growing, like I said, as a leader. Yeah.
Do you remember what it was like in being a 7th grader? Like, is that still something in your brain that is a little file of like, hey, this is like, was the experience of being a 7th grader joining the varsity team? But what was that like?
I felt so young, but no matter how young I felt, I never felt like I was like less than any of my teammates or like any better than them or anything else. I just wanted to play, honestly.
So who was like the Kaia Henderson of that person? Like, how would you just describe yourself when you had started playing on the team?
That Kaia Henderson was a little shy and kept to herself and kind of just played basketball on her own terms and like that, but was always like part of the team and wanted to be a part of the team. But yeah, like I said, growing up, she's definitely changed, and yeah, I don't know.
So besides being talkative or more talkative now, who do you feel like you've become from, and obviously again, I'm not attributing everything to basketball. There's a lot of, school, classes, life, other things that you're involved in. But through that process, like, who do you think you became from that starting point to where you are, when you, I guess, just graduated high school?
Yeah, just learning everything like I've learned in the past 6 years. It's definitely prepared me for this moment in my life, and I think I've become, I don't know, I keep saying leader, but definitely a leader. I think I've become a better teammate, a better communicator, a better person in general. Like being with those girls for that amount of time, it just builds your friendship and your interactions with different people.
Is there anything that you now would like, what would you say to your 7th grade self if you could, if you were both you now and you then were in the same room, what would you kind of express to that other version of yourself?
I mean, I think in 7th grade, I wish I knew like kind of what it took. Well, like seeing now, like I kind of wish I could tell myself then, like, it's going to take a lot of hard work. Like, you can do this. And like, I don't know, just kind of motivate me from there. Cause I definitely didn't see myself 6 years later.
At what point in the journey did you realize these kind of things and also realize that maybe basketball was going to be or sports in general, but basketball I know is obviously the main one, but were going to be part of your life beyond high school also?
I think I definitely always dreamed of it when I was young, but it really started picking up kind of 8th grade when I knew like I definitely want to play in college, and I was working toward getting offers in the AAU circuit, and definitely going to my freshman year with my first offer, and I was like, wow, I can really do this. Like I need to keep working, and I can't stop.
So you found that as kind of an inspiration to
Yeah.
continue that hard work?
Yes.
I know that along the way also, like I keep mentioning the community, which is how I kind of see my job as like the intermediate person, where I will take the messages you're telling me and share them with those who have kind of watched you play over the years. And I know it goes beyond New Hartford too. Any other of these schools, they kind of know who you were and saw what you did when you played against other teams and things like that. What is that like New Hartford community support, Central New York community support, Mohawk Valley community support mean to you as you played, and how did you kind of experience that?
Oh, it means the world to me. And as I expressed in I said a little like pregame speech, like lasting speech, and I meant it, because all the support throughout the years, I wouldn't be where I am today without all you guys, the media, the fans, my family, all that stuff. And yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking of next too, is that I wasn't there for that speech, but fortunately my videographer had walked right into the gym at the exact moment you started speaking and recorded it. So I heard you mentioned family as a big part of that tribute. I know that you had told me your brothers and your family had a huge impact on getting you into the sport and everything originally. Why does the family support through all of this mean so much to you, and how did they kind of help guide you from 7th grade? I mean, obviously before, but from 7th grade to college now too.
Yeah, definitely. Ever since 7th grade, I kind of leaned to them more so than my teammates, kind of for advice, just because they went through it already, and they never stopped giving me advice, and it's real time advice. They were never fake to me. They always kept it real, and they never stopped pushing me either. And they always wanted what's best for me, and kind of put me in those positions to do what's best for me. And yeah, I will appreciate that forever and love them forever. So,
Is there anything when you think of your high school career that you would change if you could?
I mean, change the obvious, right? Like COVID, is that what you mean? Like the whole COVID season, I really wish that didn't happen. But that's a good question. And I guess just looking back at those last sectional games, like I wish you could do all these things different, but
That's honestly a good point that I didn't think of. I mean, I'm constantly thinking of COVID and how it affected things, but that really does give, I think, everyone a very clear answer of what they would change if they could. That point taken. That's a very good answer to what I thought was going to be a more philosophical question, but it makes sense, And I guess this is a good time to bring in you and I have spoken about the Section 3 scoring record, girls basketball scoring record before, and I've spoken with Emily Durr about it, who currently still holds the record that you were on track to break. And if COVID hadn't happened, or there was one full season, or even if you had played this full season out, it was likely that you were just one of those things, you would have broken it, let alone how far you would have gone. But I know like I said, you and I have spoken a little bit, not while recording, but while we're here in this chat. What are your thoughts on that, knowing that there's this record? People put, some people put the value on how many points are scored. It's kind of a measuring stick of, success and longevity, which you definitely had. So what are your thoughts when you think of, you might not be in the record books for that reason, which everyone talked so long about, but you obviously are going to be remembered and are in plenty of record books for other things.
oh, thank you. It's honestly, it's pretty devastating. But like I said before, it's an honor to just be up there with those greats, and not having those seasons kind of bummed me out, but for the reason of not being able to go to sectionals, eventually winning state championship, like we had a pretty good shot last year and this year. But yeah, honestly, I just want to win. I mean, scoring that much is obviously a really big accomplishment that I guess I'll always know I could have broken, and yeah, but what are you gonna do?
Right, the situations play out strangely. Is there any like, I guess this is one thing that it's just kind of just happened now with your transition to college too. But is there any bigger lesson that you think in the moment? What are you now? Are you 17 right now?
I'm 17, yeah.
Okay, so as a 17-year-old, this is, I mean, for anyone, it's a big question, but definitely I think people appreciate hearing your thoughts because of how well-spoken I think you are, at least. Is there any bigger lesson that comes out of that, as far in your mind, as far as, you know that you could have done it? Obviously, it would have happened, but it's just, the situation, whether it be COVID or going to college early, which is, that's not a bad thing at all, what you're doing right now, led to it just being cut a little bit short. Is there a bigger lesson that comes out of that, knowing that, hey, it's not like it wasn't impossible, like you can achieve that?
I think the lesson I kind of take out of that is it's bigger than basketball, and it's bigger than a scoring record. Like, this is a whole life learning experience that I kind of took through with my 6 years, and just learning everything I learned within those 6 years to be the person I am today. To say it is bigger than basketball and scoring records and winning, and it's about the team and friendships you make and stuff like that.
What are you most proud of when you do think back on everything that you did accomplish and everything that you were part of?
That's a loaded question. I never actually thought about that. Most proud of. I guess how much I've grown as a person, as a teammate, and how much our team chemistry has grown. That was kind of nice. Obviously, it hasn't always been the greatest. Like, obviously, teams have ups and downs, and I think we've grown together and worked through things together, and become a better team and teammates overall. Oh, I can't hear you. I think you're on mute.
There we go. I unclicked it and clicked it. It's like I said, it's relearning how this all works again as we get back to it. What I was just saying was, obviously you had your goals of winning in high school and still carry those forward. Are there any other goals that you have now as you kind of look to the future of your next 4.5 years, another long career of basketball, but this time women's basketball at the Division I level?
Yeah, it kind of follows the same path as I did my high school season, just staying on track, being able to keep up, and just continuously working hard every day. And now having the resources I need that I've always dreamed for, using them actually, and working hard to get those minutes I want, and just continuing to grow, be a better teammate, be a better person coming out of these next 4 years.
Is there anything that you've kind of been thinking about, going through your mind over the past two weeks? I mean, I'm sure you're so overloaded too with just all the change that's going on. That's like a huge thing. So, no pressure here. But is there anything that's been going through your mind that you're reflecting on that we didn't talk about already? Just kind of, in the moment as all this is quickly happening all of a sudden?
I don't know. Not that I could think of. I don't know. Me and my brothers, we had this. They have like a podcast thing, and we kind of talked about my whole career before I left for college and stuff like that, and kind of the ups and downs that happened, and just working through those. And it's like tough looking back, because I thought I would never get over those humps in my life, and seeing that I did. I guess that's also what I'm most proud of, that I pushed myself to get through those hard times, because you never know how something can affect you and how you can eventually get over it.
Yeah, that's an awesome lesson. And I know that you kind of, I'm remembering now, and as we're talking, had you helped people kind of find that in themselves a little bit with your 10,000 hours challenge. So you have not yet had 10,000 hours in college yet. So what do you hope to accomplish in your first 10,000 hours here of the college experience and women's basketball experience?
Just working as hard as I possibly can, and just getting everything better that I need to get better to be on the floor with my team.
Awesome. When's the next game? I didn't check the schedule. I should have done that.
Wednesday versus Michigan State.
Okay, cool. It's got to be cool to see. Has there been anyone that you've, I'm sure you kind of knew about your teammates before you got there, but any other teams too, just seeing them in person and being you're not watching it on a screen, where you're there literally on the court? Like that's got to be a pretty cool experience to just watch it literally in front of you.
Oh yeah, that first game versus Illinois I was at, it was crazy seeing like guards I've always watched on TV. Same with Ohio State, like amazing guards, just being able to really play, and how much of a faster pace it is than high school. It's so different. And it was kind of a reality check and shock for me. And, it definitely opened my eyes to, I need to work.
Had you been at a like Ohio State game before, or any kind of Division I level game you've watched? I mean, I guess even Syracuse nearby. Have you been that close to seeing it in person before being there with the team?
Yeah. I actually went to Syracuse versus Ohio State women's in December, I'm pretty sure. But watching it from the stands, it's different. And actually being on the floor, not even being able to play, but just being on the floor that close, cheering with my teammates on the bench, like it's a crazy experience.
I'm sure. Are you getting involved in all the fun handshake, different move things? I've there was a cool one I saw on Instagram on ESPNW, that account that they were doing recently, and I was just like, I don't know how people come up with these things. But and then I went to a West Canada Valley girls game the other night, and each of them had their own individualized things. I just wouldn't remember all of it. I'd just be like, this is mine, one high five and go play. But maybe that's why I'm not a basketball player. So well, I appreciate it, Kaia. Is there anything else that you want to add or say that you want to be part of this before I guess we kind of wrap up?
I guess I just want to thank you again for covering me throughout the years, and I do appreciate it, and just putting good things out there about me, even though there was probably some bad plays I had or some bad moments you caught. But yeah, just appreciating you and all the media and all the fans, and the support from everyone is crazy. And looking back now, like, I don't know, I miss it.